Do any of you believe in guardian angels? Every time I've listened to this story, it gives me so much chills. Whether you believe in guardian angels or not, let me tell you the story. This girl works at a Coca-Cola factory in Chalco, Mexico. This happened to her 2 years ago. It was Tuesday and she had just gotten out of work around 10 p.m. and she was walking home. She explains that the streets to get to her house are very alone, like there's not a lot of people around. So as she's walking, she realizes that she could see a guy walking ahead of her towards her. So they're both walking towards each other. She doesn't know why she got this weird feeling, but something inside her told her to turn to a different street, go another way, run because you're in danger. She says that she did none of that. She didn't run, she didn't go to another street. The only thing she did was move from the sidewalk where she was at to the other side of the street where the other sidewalk was. Unfortunately, the guy did the same thing, and she could kind of tell that he wasn't coming with good intentions. Right when he was about to be in front of her is when he moved to a different way, and it was at that very moment where she heard a growl behind her. She didn't turn to look, but she said that she felt the dog just like pass by her leg, like she felt the dog pass her leg in front of her. When she finally looked, she said that it was a Rottweiler and that it was like literally standing in front of her. She admits that she was very scared because this dog looked like it could attack at any moment. However, she noticed that when this dog was facing that man, it would growl almost like it was gonna attack him. But when the dog would turn to look at her, it would be very sweet and make those like loving noises like if he wanted her to pet him. And that Rottweiler actually walked with her all the way to her house. She says that once they started walking towards their house, a lot of other people were walking down the street and they would also all change lanes so that they can avoid this dog, which she understood because the dog looked very scary, but that dog was really nice to her. When she finally got home, she thanked the dog, as silly as it sounds, and she actually went inside to go get some water and give it to the dog. But when she came back outside with the water, the dog was nowhere to be found. She even went to go look at the street to see if maybe it was starting to walk back so she could call it, but she couldn't find the dog anywhere. On her next shift, again, she got out of work around 10:30 and started to walk to her house. And just when she was about to get to that street where like she had seen the guy, she noticed that there was that same guy hiding behind a tree. She saw when he had peeked out and she could tell it was the same freaking guy. When he realized that she had seen him, he came out of that tree and started walking towards her, and she saw when he pulled something from out of his pants. She literally stopped in her tracks and she was like paralyzed. She couldn't move and she was almost just waiting for him to do whatever he needed to do to her. It was also in that moment where she heard the craziest growl from a dog. It was like he came out of nowhere and it was headed towards the man that was about to do something to her. When she turned to look at the dog, she could have sworn that this dog had like rabies or something. Like it was insane how aggressive it seemed. However, this time it didn't stop the guy from coming closer to her, and when the guy took a step closer to the girl, that dog got even angrier and started going towards the man. She says that she had never in her life heard a dog make those kind of sounds, and this guy ended up running away from her. When this guy was finally out of sight, she says that the Rottweiler turned around, started coming towards her, but was more calm, and he was wagging his tail almost like if he was happy. She says that it even jumped on her, and like even with him being on his hind legs, it was taller than her. This dog was like bigger than her. She says the dog started to lick her face and she just hugged the dog and said thank you repeatedly. However, the weirdest thing happened. She said that when he finally went back to his four legs, he kind of bit her pant leg and tried to pull her to a different direction, almost as if telling her you need to go this way home and not where she would usually walk through. Without even a shadow of a doubt, she said that she listened to the dog. She remembers walking home and just looking at the dog and thinking, how in the world is this dog so smart and intelligent? Like, what is going on? And of course, this Rottweiler ended up walking her all the way home. She remembers getting on her knees and just telling him how grateful she was that he took her home safe and sound. So she ended up walking to the door and she was trying to look for her keys to like open it and go in, but she couldn't find her keys. She literally like pulled everything out of her purse until she finally found her keys at the very bottom of her bag. This time she was not gonna leave the dog outside. She was opening the door and she was gonna ask the dog to come in because she remembered she had rotisserie chicken and she was gonna feed it to him as a thank you. So when she opens that door finally, she turns around to try to get the Rottweiler and he is no longer there. This is also when she was like, there's no way this dog could have left that fast or for me to even not see him leaving because there's nowhere for him to hide. She also mentions that when she was looking for the keys, she could feel him around her leg dog. Like, he was there with her the entire time. She says that finally on her next shift she got paid and she ended up getting a taxi home, and she no longer walked home because of everything that happened. She also says that she consistently asked that taxi man to pass by that street because she has been looking for this dog ever since. She says that it's been 2 years of her looking for this Rottweiler and she has never found him since. She believes that this Rottweiler was somehow her guardian angel who had literally saved her life twice. But what do you guys think?